What is up, everybody? How are we doing today? Welcome back to episode 5 of Echoes of Madness. We're calling this episode Keith is Looking Sharp. So Josh has asked for that sexy recap juice when we get here. So let's give that sexy recap juice. So last we missed a week, so thank you all for the patience in waiting for this episode. I appreciate you all being here. 2 weeks ago, they were back at the military base. The two different groups, the military had come from one side, then the restaurant workers had come from another, met up in the middle, and start discussing what next plan of action is when a crazy woman jumped through the glass, introducing Jane, or Becky, as I like to call her. Don't call her that anybody else. It's Rebecca. Made her way into the hearts of the group, and they decided to head off. They went to get a bunch of ammo, get a bunch of supplies, things like that, and go. As they headed out, Phoebe fell into a pool of darkness, literally. Well, I guess it was maybe more than a pool. It was like an ocean of darkness, and almost drowned in there. Well, she would have been drowning if it wasn't one of these dark dreams, to be honest, with how long she was under the water. Saw some dark beings floating up from the water to the sky, and then the snow falling down, and then she awoke back in the reality soaking wet. Everybody helped take care of her, and they got into a couple cars and headed on their way to try and maybe find some of their lost companions. Keith was the first on their list, and then they were to go find Phoebe's father at his home, or their home, to go check on them. Kind of uneventful rides in the car, but when they got there, Marcella and Chaplin went up to the door, opened the door up, and the last thing that we saw was Keith sitting on his couch with his butcher's knife, looking at the door where Marcella opened up, and just stabbing himself in the chest, saying, "Look, Marcella, I found my knife." And that's where we open up today. So what you've seen is, his place doesn't look like very dirty or anything like that. It's not like it's thrown apart. The TV's on. He was sitting there, watching some TV, and you come in, and he's probably, by the time he starts stabbing himself in this chest, what you see is he's got about 4 or 5 stabs, like deep wounds from this big butcher knife, and his eyes are dark. And he says, what he says to you, and just continue to stab, but that blood is coming out, but he's not falling down. He doesn't seem like he's stopping. He just keeps stabbing himself.
Keith! And I am rushing forward, trying to grab this knife and literally pry it out of his hands.
What does Chaplin do as she, because you're the person that's right behind there?
I don't think I would have let her run towards him while he has a knife, especially if he's already hurting himself. I would have probably grabbed her by the shoulders and stopped her.
Okay, so let's, if you want to run forward, this is where we have to start doing some contested rolls kind of things, because I'm assuming you're trying to fight through this. So yeah, so each give me a roll here.
84.
I got a 99.
In 99. So Joy, so Marcella, so he tries to grab at your shoulder, you yell Keith, you rush forward, and you get to him. You grab this knife, and doesn't fight you trying to reach at him. He's got this smile on his face. The blood is now dripping down the side of his the curl of his smile, as you know he's repeatedly stabbing himself, and he's kind of got you, and he's taking your hand now, and you're now on it. You're trying to probably fight his hand going back and forth.
Keith, what the fuck are you doing? Stop. You need to stop. Keith, please. And I'm just going to continue to pull on that knife.
And he spits blood out all over your face, all over your neck, all over your body. It's just like it spurts out of his mouth. And it's, you know, it's not as red as it should be. It's definitely looking more dark and black like everything else has been in all of this. And he's still, you know, in the midst of it, he's got that curl of that smile. And his body is now mangled. You finally grab the knife out of his hand. And he just kind of sits there. You probably, like, it's probably one of those things where your hand's been going through that motion. You probably maybe even stab him one last time, just as it's all kind of going through. And he sits back, and that smile's on his face. You're covered in this blood. And he's just like, that was nice. And his head just kind of falls to the side.
What the fuck? I'm gonna like try to like grab his head and put it like back upright. Keith.
It just it keeps trying to fall. Like you probably, if you put it upright and then try to move your hand away, it'll just fall to the side again.
I'm gonna drop the knife, and I am looking at myself like covered in blood and Sergeant.
I would
Holy
just kind of put a
cow.
hand on her shoulder and move her back away.
What the fuck?
I tried to warn you. I'm sorry. We should probably go.
I can't leave him here. This is all my fault. I told him to pick up the knife. I told him to. If I hadn't have done that,
No.
Keith would still be here. And can I do a...
And you see his body like do one of those like shakes, you know. Probably like his arm twitches off to the side, his head like twitches, probably falls forward. What did you want to roll?
Just a sanity check.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. Oh, 5.
5. So you're just losing 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Looking around this room, you see that there's, I'm assuming, Chaplain, you're probably checking out the rest of your surroundings as you probably would. You don't see any other weapons around. You don't see any guns or anything like that. There's a bunch of cooking books on the desk, like the coffee table in front. He was watching like Emerald live on like an old rerun of it. Fucking bam, kind of you hear like bam, shit like that. Just looks like he doesn't make a ton of money. Nice, pretty clean though. And the knife is now just laying wherever it's laying. Yeah, and he's gone.
I'm gonna...
Is there a towel or anything?
Yeah, like
Go look for a towel.
you could walk into the little kitchenette that's around the corner and get some hand towels.
Yeah, look for 2 towels. And then
I'm
we
gonna
give her a towel.
Yeah, stand up and I'm wiping.
Roll me one more die for yourself as you're wiping this blood on your face.
81.
81. So you're wiping this blood on your face, and the only place that you feel it kind of burn and tingle is where the blood is on that cut on your neck.
What the fuck? And I'm trying to wipe it off as best as I can at that
Yeah.
point. It's burning me.
You would come in, you'd give her, are you wiping her, just handing her the towels, are you wiping her down?
No, I'm not wiping her down. I just gave her the 1 towel, and I'm gonna pick up the knife and clean the knife off, and I'm going to hand it to her.
Mhm.
So
I'm actually
know
gonna
it's-
stick that in my bag.
Sure.
I know it's hard, but this is how life goes sometimes, and as much as you want to forget, you can't. You carry his legacy now. Yeah, hand her that knife so she can have it.
I'm gonna take it. Thank you, Sergeant.
Just nod. Is there anything else that we need to do here, or
I don't know if he's gonna turn into one of those fucked up things, waving the knife around just. And I guess we should look for anything that could be useful while we're here, because Keith's not gonna use it. At this
Okay.
point, I'm wandering around the apartment just looking for something that, like food. I'm walking into the kitchen, seeing if there's like non-perishables.
And yeah, so you walk into the kitchen and go into the fridge, the freezer, things like that. He's definitely has a bunch of, meats and things like that he's probably taken from the restaurant. Probably turned them into a bunch of frozen meals and things that you could use and whatnot. Yeah, that's definitely something you could do.
And then I'll do that. I'll just pack what I can into my backpack.
Yeah, so you take a bunch of frozen meals. You don't really have anything to keep them cold, but you pack some things. There's a couple things like bags of chips and whatnot. A bunch of random snacks. He wasn't the healthiest either. Yeah, that's kind of what's around.
Yay for us. Yeah, yay for us.
Exactly. And you find a bunch of booze as well.
Oh,
I think he's got
I
a
am
big
picking
stock.
that up, and I am taking a huge swig immediately.
I
four,
figured.
4 swigs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm also pouring some of it on my whatever this is.
And if you're taking like 4 swigs, roll me your die for a little con check here.
42.
42. And what's your negative on that? Sorry, where's your sheet here?
I think it's 46.
Joy.
Actually, I don't know.
Your negative is okay, so 45. Yeah, so you're not hammered, but you've still got that. Well, actually, no, because you had that rosy glow on your way over here already.
Oh shit! Because we shared.
Because you shared some.
A couple swigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're probably getting pretty drunk now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Sarge. I'm ready to get the fuck out of this place. I never want to see it ever again.
all right? I would also just take like a swig with her and then pack
Sure.
it away.
No problem. You don't need one of those because you've only
Around
had
for a cooler. Yeah.
for a cooler.
Do you think he might have if he had a cooler, it'd be better to
Highs or lows?
food and something like that.
Highs or lows? Oh, 61. There is no cooler.
Sad. All right. Then
Yeah.
just keep it in the bag for now.
Fortunately, there's no cooler. There is some ice and stuff like that. You could probably pack into a bag if you wanted to, but that won't last as long.
Yeah, I figured the
Yeah,
group's
no.
probably hungry. We'll just probably eat what we can and then save what we can. While we're walking past Keith on our way out, I'm gonna pour some on the floor.
Sure. And you look at him as you do that. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
look at him and his head was down. He does one of those body twitches and his eyes open into those dark black eyes. And Sonic, you want to put your camera away for a moment? And for a moment, you get sucked into the darkness of his eyes. What Sonic sees, or what Chaplin sees, is he sees you fall down, kind of hit your head on the ground. Bottle then just drops, and the alcohol starts to pour up to the ground, and you fall into this darkness. It consumes all around you, it starts to feel like you can't breathe, like this darkness is taking away all of your air. You're trying to fight against it. It almost feels like you're floating out in space. You're trying to fight it. It's making your throat kind of clasp together. And you feel, like I said, like you're floating. You're probably looking around, and from this darkness, you see that you're close to these supernova, these stars. You're up in space. You probably like start to look around, and you're floating, doing these twirls and turns as you're fighting with your neck and your breath and your lungs. And you see the earth below you getting darker as the water from it starts to creep into blackness. Like the ocean's just kind of like from the outside in starting to turn dark. You spin around again and you see one of these supernova stars explode into this dark ash that falls and lifts all over you. And it starts to knock you down with it. It's almost like these pieces of ash hit you and they weight you. And you start to fall rapidly towards the ground, towards the earth.
If I'm feeling good off of the drink and the day has been... Fuck all of this. And I'm gonna put my arms out and just let it, like, plummet me.
And you turn from your back. Your back now has this ash just raining down on you. And it hits you down farther and farther, and you get towards the earth. And you feel that impact. You feel that hit, and that's when you actually hit the ground in the real life. You hit your head, and you are back in reality from it. You're no longer, you can breathe again in this moment. Chaplain, you can come back. Thank you.
Fuck. I would like to do another sanity roll.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 52.
52. That is... that's a success for you. You're 44 for your DC, so that's just a -1.
We need to get the fuck out of here right now.
And you see where, you're looking at her, Chaplain, there's some, that smudged blood from where she wiped it off as best as she could, but now she has a little bit of her own blood trickling down her head where she hit as well. A quick question to everybody in the car, just for a second. You don't have to turn cameras on yet. What do you think when you were planning on coming in at all? Or, do you feel like this is taking longer than you expected? Do any of you want to come into this situation?
I think we were following like behind, but maybe this happened like really fast. I don't know how fast.
Well, it like the initial part happened fast, but them going and then finding food and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's definitely been at least 10 minutes that you've been waiting, I would say.
Flora for sure would come in at a certain point.
Yeah. Okay. So if like any of you guys can just bring yourself into this where you would like now. Okay. If anybody is getting out of the car to come in.
I need to secure the vehicles. I would have stayed probably.
Okay.
Yeah, Rebecca stays with Marina.
Okay. So Flora's gonna come in. What about Phoebe? Do you think you're coming in?
I was gonna say if Flora's gonna go in, then Phoebe would just be following suit.
Okay.
I'm not feeling like whatever happened to my head. I'm standing up and trying to get the fuck out the door.
Yeah, you've got that adrenaline. Do you look back at Keith before you go again?
No.
No.
Don't.
Okay.
Hey, what's taking so long?
So you come in and you see that she's getting herself up off the ground. Sorry, I normally don't interrupt. Fitless, Aki, thank you so much, man. 10,000 fucking bits and all of those gifted subs. Like, thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. And yes, it is great news on Sean coming home. Thank you fucking so much, man.
Let's fit.
Yeah, so thank you. Wow. Train of thought. This is why I need to close chat throughout all this. Because my train of thought just goes away.
And close it.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate everybody so much who's here in chat. I'd love you all, but I need to stay focused on this game. So you come in and you see her pulling herself off the ground very quickly in an aggressive fashion. You see the blood trickling down her. You see Keith on the couch, stabbed repeatedly, his head now to the side, in a bunch of smudged blood all over Marcella.
Guys, just turn around. We just need to leave. Please.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine. And I'm pulling a different bottle since the one on the floor spilled, and I'm having another swig.
Yeah.
And I'm pushing past you guys at this point, and
Okay, so she pushes past you. Chaplain's probably still left standing there. You're looking in there, looking at Chaplain. I'll let you guys just do what you're doing.
Phoebe turns to Sergeant Downs and she's like, Did y'all find him like this?
No, it kind of just happened very quickly. When we walked in, he was already impaling himself. It was over very quickly. If you wouldn't mind, would you go make sure that she's okay? She seems to have some blood on her. She needs to get cleaned up, and you should probably have her eat something.
Phoebe's gonna rush out the door. Marcella!
Laura
What,
standing
Phoebe?
there, stands still, looking at Keith, like shocked. She doesn't know what to do. I think she will make a sanity check.
Sure. Is she pulling a tarot card as well?
Yep.
So you pull a tarot card. Sorry, where was my notes there for those?
While she's doing that, Phoebe rushes up to Marcella. She is yelling at her, but she doesn't say anything. She just wraps her around a hug, and she's breathing really heavily. She's like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!"
What happened to my notes for those? I had a specific thing that I went to. You actually know them. You can tell me which one you pull. I think there's one with a heart with the swords through it, if I'm not mistaken. What card is that?
I'm not sure.
Fuck my
Is it
life.
the minor arcana, because I don't know anything about the minor ones.
It might have been. Anyway, it's a card. It's fuck. What was it? I apologize, everybody. This is one thing that I actually did research for, because if you're going to use it, I wanted to make sure I had it, but I don't have my list of cards here. Okay, keep the roleplay going. Never mind. What the card represents is death, essentially.
Okay. She will probably turn to Dan and say, I feel so guilty. This is my fault. He died because we shouldn't have him. He should have been with us.
It's natural to feel guilt when somebody dies, but this isn't anybody's fault. Whether it was inevitable or whatever it may be, this is just how things are. You can't blame yourself any more than Marcella can blame herself. It was his choice to go home. Everything that's happening has no logical explanation as far as I'm concerned. So, with that in mind, can't hold on to that guilt. But we really probably should go. We have more stops to make on the way, and there's nothing more we can do for him now. And I would probably try just beckon towards the door.
And outside, Phoebe, while you're hugging me, I allow it for a second, But then I shrug you off of me and just walk and get into the car that I was in with Sergeant Downs.
Okay. And
Just one last thing. Like she walks over to Keith's body and she searches for the moon cards, which is her cards, and she will place it in his hands upside down and walks out.
as you place it in his hand, you could swear you hear him say to you, "You're next." You don't see his mouth move. His head's flopped to the side, but you hear his voice in your head. And the moment the card touches his hand, the voice just rings and resonates in your head. Just, "You're next."
She will walk out the door, but she is freaked out.
Okay.
Phoebe's gonna change cars and she's gonna get in the car with Marcella now. There's room, right? Because there's.
Yeah, there's room. So now it's you, Marcella, and Chaplin, and then Toad, Floor, and Rebecca in the other car. So Rebecca and Toad. So you two see coming out of the house, Marcella covered in this wiped off blood. Do you two react at all? Do you get out of the car? Do you do anything in that situation, or are you just staying in?
When I see her cover like in black blood and something,
Mhm.
I am stepping out of the car immediately, and I'm pulling.
Sorry, guys. Sean's calling me. Apologize.
Are we gonna go in? Okay.
Yeah, keep going.
So I'm putting my hand on the holster of my gun, and I'm approaching really fast. Not pulling the gun yet, but approaching fast.
Oh, at me?
Yeah, you. You're covering black blood.
Then I'm gonna look up at you and say, "What the fuck do you want?"
Okay, I don't know what happened to you, but you're kind of like covered in that black bullshit like we have encountered it like everywhere, and I don't know what the fuck is happening to you. Like, okay, but from the way you're talking, it seemed like you're okay, but what the fuck happened?
It's I can't talk about this. I just watched my fucking friend stab themselves 37 times in the fucking chest. Are you planning to pull that gun on me?
Well, if you get infected, and I'm gonna go right up your face. Don't do that.
Anything might be better than here.
I would no doubt if you're infected. Just put it in your head. I would not doubt to put a bullet in your brain. Are you done here? Let's get the fuck out of here then.
I'm walking out with Flora right then, and I'm just, as I'm walking up and I see this happening, stand down, Corporal. The situation's fine. She's staying in my vehicle. If it comes down to it, I'll do what's necessary. But this isn't necessary.
Somebody please put a fucking bullet in my head, and I'm gonna brush past you and get in the car.
Rebecca has been watching all of this from the other car. She was in, I think, the back seat, and she's just climbing over the seats to the steering wheel and just honks the horn really loud. And it's just yells out the window, "Are we fucking going? There's things to do."
I'm gonna look at my Sarge and say like, that was probably out of place, because I am supposed to be the calm one, supposed to be the collected one. But I would suggest you, Sarge, to clean up that black shit, otherwise it's probably contaminate the other people. and then I'm gonna turn around and go to the other car.
Okay. So you all get into your cars. I guess Lily, or I guess Phoebe, you're going to be directing them as to where to go.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to, like, does anybody have any conversations they want to have inside the cars here on your way to your house?
I think when Toad gets in the car, Rebecca will kind of look at her and be like, listen, there's a difference between being on it, being vigilant, not fucking dying, and just being hot-headed. I don't know you, but you're a tough bitch. But shit like that is actually what gets you killed. So I know you can get it together. You'd better fucking do that real soon.
Oh, Emma, sorry, Flora, you'd be in the car there with them too. I don't know if you want to join in the conversation or not. They got into your car.
Look, it's clear this girl is having a meltdown. So she
What
wanted
do you
to
think
scream.
she saw in there? Do you think she walked into that house and just took a shit? I don't think so. I think some shit went down that was pretty fucking obvious.
Yeah, what happened is she saw, you weren't here in the first place, but she freaking out. She did to scream at someone, and I was the person at the other end of the screaming. And
You're the one freaking out.
You know about the pattern, that what have been happening and everything, but you don't know me, girl. You don't know me, okay? So we are here together to try to survive. And if we wanna keep surviving and we are, kind of working together, I think it's better if we try not antagonize ourselves. Maybe we need to get out of here and go to the other places that we wanna hit, right?
So just a question for Flora, real quick. Does she feel anything as they're talking? Like you're the person that knows, who they're talking about the most. Do you feel the need to defend her or anything like that?
She wants to get mad, but she's building up to it. Like if they.
It's a slow build.
Conversation. She's like, okay.
Okay.
But she's kind of like still shocked.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just need to know.
Yeah, Rebecca just says, we're on the same page more than you realize. I'm just trying to fucking get you there where you need to be. I understand this is not a walk in the fucking park, but we're still walking, okay? But you just... I don't have time for this shit. I don't have time for this shit.
You're muted, Freya.
I agree that we don't have time for let go. It was a situation where she needed to explode it. I was the person receiving the exploding. I don't know where you're coming from, me, girl. We need to move on.
She's like not even looking at you anymore. Like you're talking to her and it's just...
Okay. And so so you guys are following behind the other car. Any conversation happening in the other car at all?
Yeah, I think Marcella or Phoebe, even though Marcella probably wouldn't be wanting to receive it very well, like she would definitely, because they're going to her house next, and the odds do not look in their favor, and so she would be sitting in the back seat holding Marcella's hand and just kind of like, what do I do? Marcella, what do I do? If my dad is like Keith was, what do I do?
You drink.
Mom, that's not funny. I'm serious.
Phoebe, look, I can't tell you what you're gonna feel or what you're gonna experience. Just please take care of yourself, and if it's bad, please get out of there. You can feel later, just promise me that you'll get out of there, because I can't. If there's something I can do to prevent something happening from you, I need to do that.
And you're feeling that throbbing on your neck still.
Guys, I've been drinking just a little bit, and this shit actually hurts. So that might be a problem.
When Phoebe looks at it, what does she see?
So it still has that scab on it, like I described before, and I'd said that had that like tinge of red, like an infected, like that little bit of infected wound. It looks like that red is starting to spread out more. It almost, you know how like it kind of like it look like it veins off almost. It kind of looks like it's starting to vein off a little bit.
How bad does it look? Be honest, Phoebe.
It doesn't look great, but also like, how do we even tell what is good or not? I don't even know what it looking good would look like.
It's just a problem we can deal with when we get somewhere else. And kind of wave you away from me, like, yes, it's fine. Stop checking it out.
And you drive, you actually start to drive past where all of the explosion cars were before. You drive past where you had to stop and take out Flo. If anybody looks, her body's not there anymore. It's not laying where you left it. The other bodies that were in and around the explosion cars, if anybody's looking, those are easily seen. The charred bodies are still there, but Flo's body is gone from where it was.
Phoebe looks to Marcella to see if she's also looking out the window.
I would not be paying attention. I'm looking out the window. I'm oblivious.
Mm-hmm.
Phoebe saw it, but she's not going to see anything.
Yep.
I mean, what would you even say?
And you all drive and get to Phoebe's place. Your place will, it's kind of like townhouses. There's a couple, but they're not like connected townhouses. Do you know what I mean? There's like a tall, thin building, and then there's a little bit like a pathway between the two houses around it, another tall, thin building. You definitely have a back door and things like that. Where do you guys park? Do you park in the driveway? Do you drive right up? Where are you telling Chaplin to go?
Yeah, I think she would tell him to park like right in the front of the house. Up until this point, like she's been very quiet, and very still, except for telling him, turn here, turn there. And so now that they've gotten here, she's very like shaky, like she's rummaging through her bag trying to find her keys, and her like, it's like she's having a hard time getting her keys out because her hands are shaking. And she like takes a deep breath. She's like, okay, I want to go in alone.
Not happening.
Officer, would you just stand at the door?
No, not happening. After what happened in the last place, no, absolutely not. You're not going in anywhere alone.
Okay, just like don't judge my dad. We've been through a lot, and so like just.
Ma'am,
Okay.
quite frankly, I could give a shit less, but hold on for a moment. I'm going to take the bottle of liquor, and whether Marcella likes it or not, I'm going to pour some of that on the wound to try and disinfect it.
Jesus, fuck, Sergeant.
Sorry, it's gotta happen. And I'm going to rummage through my bags and find an MRE. Some of them should have like crackers and like peanut butter and stuff, and I'm going to give her something to eat because she's been drinking a whole lot, and just gonna
Ooh,
give
yay,
her that.
snackies. Nom,
And yeah, we'll just leave her in the car, and I'm gonna go with Phoebe into the house.
Okay.
As my mouth is full of food and I'm realizing you guys are leaving without me, I'm poking my head out like the car window and being like, where the fuck are you guys going? You can't leave me in the car. But I don't move to get out. I'm just complaining.
And the other car pulls up behind.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if anybody else is coming in the houses, so we're leaving them. But
Rebecca definitely wants to get to wherever kind of Marcella is, because she kind of saw that whole thing go down with her and Toad, and kind of just, you know,
Sure.
wants
So
to kind of play both sides, I guess.
So you pull up, and you're getting out of the car as you see Marcella stick her head out of the car and where's going kind of thing. And you go, like, you just go to say, like, get in the car with her. Then I guess.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey girly, what's going on? You snacking? That's good. Can I get some of that shit? Give me some.
Fucking go for it. I'm opening up my pack actually, because now I'm drunk and I'm hungry. And I'm pulling out one of the meals that
The frozen meals.
Ethan made.
Yeah.
Girl, you deserve some of this for, I'm sure, all the bullshit you went through. You want to split it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
we'll.
She says yes, but she's eating most of it. She's just.
So we're gonna come back to that conversation.
Okay.
For.
Phoebe is actually, when the other car pulls up, she's going to go back to Flora
Mhm.
and is going to ask her to come in with her.
Yeah, Flora I was gonna juggle up and grab your hand and say, let's do this together.
Okay. And Toad, are you securing the cars again, or are you? What's Toad doing?
Who is in the car right now?
You're by yourself.
Okay.
And in the other car is Rebecca and Marcella.
I think I'm just staying by the cars because they're the only ways for us to move, and there's
Yep.
no one else.
Okay. So yeah, so you guys stay by the car and start to go. Sorry, I just got another message from Sean. I had to read. And start to go. So how are you going? Are you going into the front door? Are you going around the back? Chaplain, are you trying to go first? Like, what's walking order here? Stuff like this.
Phoebe would definitely be trying to go first.
Yeah.
Unless, like, Sergeant Downs is actively trying to stop her, then she would be kind of leading that front.
Mhm.
She would definitely be going through the front door. She's used to.
Yep, just going home.
Her dad is normally like in his room in the back of the house, so
Mhm.
it would be better for them to kind of be able to investigate in the front of the house. She's not assuming that he's going to like be out and about.
Sure. I guess that's the one thing I need to know is, do you need to make contested rolls to see who's going ahead here? That's the main thing.
no, I'll just follow them.
You'll just follow them. Okay. So you open the door, not locked.
So that's already weird because it would normally be locked, and so she's clutching, probably like borderline painfully, Flora's arm,
Mhm.
and like opens the door and takes a deep breath and takes a step in and wants to kind of investigate. She's used to like all of the lights being off in the house. Like it definitely feels like she lives alone, even though there's another person there.
And you don't see anybody in this, your front little foyer. Nothing looks out of place as to what it normally is, kind of stuff. It looks like you're just walking in home to your normal night, your normal day, whatever time you come home. Do you go like straight to his room?
She's gonna walk in and kind of like inspect, and once everyone's in, she's gonna turn around and she's gonna be like, should I call for him or should I just go check on him?
Maybe try to call for him first.
She turns to Sergeant Downs for like confirmation.
Whatever you want to do.
Dad? Dad, are you home?
Let's. You don't get an answer back.
Flora is grabbing the small gun she took with her from the... just holding it, not pointing it, but just to feel safer.
Takes a breath. Okay, that's pretty normal. That's actually pretty normal. And she's gonna start walking towards his room, and she's gonna yell again, Dad? Hey, Dad? Are you up? Something happened. It's kind of important.
And you start to hear some rustling coming from the door. You see those kind of like like those shadows of the footprints come up towards the closed door, and you hear the door handle like jiggle to open, and the door swings open, and you see your father standing there, and he's doing one of those like wobbles, that back and forth wobble. His eyes are kind of half closed in that drunken state, but they don't look black. They look fine. Give me another drink. I'm all out in here. And you can smell it just coming off of him.
Yeah, I assume, his room is kind of like where he stays. And so he kind of just like, it normally smells very overwhelming. We have just whatever liquor he has,
Oh yeah, he's just wearing a bathrobe and nothing else. It's kind of like half open, which is probably why you're like embarrassed of bringing people open, because he just stands there exposing himself and shit like that. He's too drunk to even realize that he's not really dressed.
Kind of like immediately, like she was very tense, and she just immediately kind of lets go of Flora, and then kind of starts moving kind of quickly and is talking to him as she's going into his room and like packing bags for him. And she's like, Dad, something's going on. It's hard to explain.
Hey, I remember you from the restaurant, as he like takes a step closer towards Flora and like tries to put his arm up around her shoulder. You're always a pretty one. And you just eat that breath. It's like dragon breath on your face.
She tries to hide it. Hello, sir. How are you? Are you doing well today?
Do you want to go for a drink?
Yeah, let's go for a drink. We have drinks in the car. We're gonna
She
go
rips
on a
his
road trip.
arm towards the bedroom and sits him on his bed. And she's like, Dad, we're in a lot of trouble. I need us to go.
Give me a roll.
To focus. Huh?
Give me a roll.
Okay, can I do that from the
Yeah, go to the Discord. You can go into the echoes and just do !! roll space 1d100. 97. Oh wow, I thought my 78 was bad. So you go to grab his arm and he almost pushes you back. He's not like hitting you, pushing you back, but he pushes you back, and he's just like, he almost grabs onto her shoulder, onto Flora's shoulder a little bit tighter as he keeps trying to steady himself as you're trying to pull him, and he pushes you away from him. Don't you? I know what I'm doing here.
So I'm really close to Flora, and kind of like a hush. I don't know what to freaking do. What do I do? I can't leave him, but like, we're all gonna die if we take him with us. Like, what do I do? What is my job here as his daughter?
Grab his stuff and we will get him in the car. And we're going to head out probably. We can't leave him here. So grab his stuff. I will take him to the car. He seems a bit more attached to me, and I'm looking at his hands on my shoulder.
What's Chaplin doing through this? Sorry,
Standing and watching.
just standing and watching. Okay.
Flora will probably look at Chaplin and say, can you help? I need a hand to drag this man towards the car.
Yeah, I guess I'll help her then. Just take the other shoulder. The other arm.
She's gonna like also grab kind of like and squeeze, much less painfully now, kind of affectionately Flora's shoulder. She's gonna be like, "Thank you," and then go in the room and start packing stuff.
And as you put your arm under his other shoulder, he kind of looks over to you and is like, I don't know who you are, but can you get us a drink? And he kind of like points to him and Flora.
We have booze in the car.
And he's lead the way. And just kind of like he almost tries to like walk off quickly towards the alcohol now. In a stumbling state. So you grab a bunch of stuff from his room, pack it all together, some clothes and things like that. Is there anything else that you're grabbing from the place? Anything of yours that you're looking to grab?
Yeah, I would probably, also just grab like, since her clothes are wet, some like clothes and things like that.
Okay. And you two lead him outside to the car. Which car are you leading him to? And so, well, I guess what everybody sees is you see, this drunken man half exposed in his bathrobe being led outside. Before we jump to what's going to happen there, let's jump back to that conversation that you two were having in the car. Because that's kind of happening at the same time as this here. So you guys can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Did you make this? It's really fucking good. Oh my god.
I didn't make it. One of my good friends did, Keith. He honestly is the bomb. How long has it been since you've eaten?
Huh. I mean, I eat, but is it really food? And like, she kind of like looks at you with like a, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
I kind of want to know.
You know those? What are they? You know those? It's not a mouse. It's like a fluffy tail. Little
A rabbit?
cheeks. Little with the cheeks and the nuts and the
Chipmunks?
Squirrel. I used
Oh,
to fucking
jeez.
yeah, squirrels. If
I
you just
gag in my mouth a little bit and like,
yeah, it's fucking gross.
that's fucking gross, dude.
I can't believe I finally found food, but what the fuck happened to you? You saw it, didn't you? You fucking saw it.
I walked in and my friend was stabbing himself in the chest repeatedly, and then I got blasted out into space. So that was wild.
I mean, I saw fucking Jesus, so I get it.
You saw Jesus?
I saw fucking Jesus. He was
You know what? I
beautiful.
fucking believe you. That's how crazy today has gotten.
And what happened to your fucking neck? She looks like closer, sees that like I bet it's even more red now with the alcohol.
It is. It's definitely more red now, and this is actually something that you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
This is
and,
different than the stuff. So, and what's most different about it is that most of the things that you see are black, where this is still red. This is still human.
Yeah, and just immediately like, hold on, I think I can. I wanna roll for medicine. So do I just have to?
Yeah, roll me a D100 here.
Do I have to get under or over the?
You're looking for an under.
Okay. No, I have over.
You have over, what'd you roll?
73, and my DC is 67.
Yeah, so you're 73, so that's kind of like you can tell what it is. It's not like a huge failure or anything like that, but you're not able to discern much about it. But you can tell that it's not the same thing that you've been seeing before. You don't, like, this doesn't lead you to believe that she's going to change from this.
Yeah, I think I don't think I have anything for that. It's gross, but it's not. I don't know if anything will work.
Honestly, I'd be down to try anything at this point.
She just pulls out like a random, like, it's literally, I have it. It's like this old person cream, like the really like thick salve, and she's just like, well, I can put some of this shit on it, but like,
That shit smells weird.
yeah, but it's better than pouring fucking alcohol on it. And she just like rubs a bunch of it on you, and like no personal space, just like, come here.
Thanks.
I got you. Do you think some of this shit is gonna? I'm surprised I even found any of you. I didn't know there were humans anymore. That sounds fucking. But I can't.
How bad is it where you came from?
I mean, it's just me. It's just me.
It seemed to work to stay together. I guess we'll just keep doing that.
Rebecca, roll me your die, Rebecca.
71.
Perfect. You think out of the corner of your eye you see your father outside the car, but it's nobody there when you look again, when you do that double take.
Yeah, I think like in the middle of that laugh of like it's just me. It's just me. She went. Why did she go in there? I don't remember. I just want to fucking leave. Why did she go in there?
Her dad. He's a little bit embarrassing, so you might want to be prepared. He's worse than me, believe it or not.
And would say that's probably when you would see them pulling him out of the house. Toad, have you been doing anything throughout all this? Are you just sitting in your car, or are you standing outside of your car?
I'm probably doing some rounds around the perimeter and using my scope, trying to feel the wind.
Sure. There's no snow falling at this moment. There's not too much wind that's really blowing, and you're not really seeing too many people or anything like that out and about. It's pretty quiet everywhere other than the noise that's happening in the house. So you're doing that as they come back out with Phoebe's dad. Which car do you lead Phoebe's dad to?
Not the one
Closest. I think she would like just try and.
Oh, Phoebe, you're probably behind them. You're still packing, right? You probably come up a couple moments afterwards.
I think we'd be taking him to Flora's car.
To Flora's car.
There's actually not booze in that car.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you take him and you put him into Flora's car. You put him in the back. And So where's the trick? You said we had some alcohol here. We're gonna go on a date.
Can you knock him out? Like with something?
I don't know how your friend is going to feel about that, but I could.
I mean, if he gets handsy or he distracts us, I think that's more dangerous.
I think we'll just sit him next to Toad.
Yeah, that's also a good idea.
So you put him down. He sits down in the back. Or you get into the driver's seat, I'm assuming? Or are you outside of the car still? Is he just the only person in the car?
Yeah, I was outside of the cars. Just just patrolling the cars as all this happened.
Yeah. Okay, so he's in the car just kind of waiting. Phoebe, you would come. This is kind of you come out there. You see he's in a car. What? Yeah, it's all. I guess this is all on you guys right now.
I mean, the first thing I would do is once he's in the car, I'm going to talk to Toad about all of that. And Corporal, I'm going to need you to keep an eye on this guy. He's obviously under the influence. He may or may not be a problem, so I'm going to need you to sit with him and make sure that everything goes according to plan. Please don't kill him.
Sarge, I think I think that joke is probably too soon. I didn't mean to kill that old lady. Like I was just trying to taunt her, and then her face just exploded on me. Like,
yeah,
I
it's
didn't
okay,
mean to
Hulk.
kill her.
I understand.
So.
But yeah,
Okay,
he may or may not be a problem, so I need you to keep eyes on him.
So like babysitting duty, like we did in Fear rotation we did together with Thompson, like when he was waited and I had to care for him.
Yeah, basically, just make sure things don't get out of hand. He seems to have a thing for Flora, so since she's driving, you might want to keep his hands off.
I have good reflexes.
Yeah.
I can keep
It was
his
suggested to
hands in
me to
check.
knock him out, but I think that's a bit extreme at the moment. But
I think that
if it comes down to it,
I think that a lot of emotion bubbling up, like that, like the crazy chick that came at me, screaming at me, right up to my face, anyway.
Toad, we've seen a lot more than these people have. You know that.
That's true. We've been
they
fortunate
don't-
by Oh fuck!
They don't know how to
I
handle
shouldn't have
this.
said that. Anyway,
Yeah.
when I hear the phrase coming out of my mouth, "fortune fire," I kind of recoil of fear of my own words, and then yeah, tupin frase, Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on him.
Thank you.
Phoebe takes a couple of minutes before she gets out because since she's already at the house, she's like, I might as well get changed here. She also grabs a necklace that was her mom's that she's like, well, I mean, if we're not going to be coming back here, then it's probably
Sure.
I should probably grab something important, And so she then kind of just goes through the house and grabs anything that kind of would look like it could be savable, and just like that, rummaging through the house and quickly throwing things in her bag, sort of thing. And she heads out and sees that everybody else is kind of in the cars, and then she again one last time kind of goes up to Flora and she's like, thank you, I'm really sorry, thank you.
You're welcome. Family's important. It's all we have now.
That's debatable, but thank you. And she goes up to her car and she gets in and she's like, okay, wherever we need to go, I'm ready, let's go.
You're going to the car with your dad? Or are you going back to the same car that you were in before?
I would suggest you go with him.
Will there be space? Because
Yes.
Is Rebecca staying in the other car?
I would assume Rebecca is not getting out of the other car now.
Okay,
Yeah,
then, yeah, I guess she would get
I
in on
don't
the-
think she doesn't really care about like the order of things, and it's like she's just wherever she feels like she wants to be. So like, you know, at this point she's just sitting next to Marcella and like chatting away, and she's just kind of passing the time. She sees them come out with, you know, the drunk looking guy, and she's just like, that doesn't look fucking good. I don't.
Yeah, that looks like a fucking train wreck.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm I'm not exactly the but that
I'm gonna slip my hand into like my jacket,
Mhm.
pull out another liquor bottle, take a small swig, and be like, "At least I'm not like that guy."
The secret stash of the good stuff.
And
That's
then I'm
that's
just
you keep the
eating-
good
I'm
stuff
eating
close to your
dinner.
heart, right? Close to your heart.
Huh?
I said you keep the good stuff close to your heart.
There, right there.
yeah, Rebecca
So
just
then,
kinda,
yeah, she
like,
would get in the
pats
same
her
car.
on the shoulder, like, oh, sweetie, yeah,
Okay.
you're not like him, no.
Thanks, Rebecca.
So Flora is now in driver's seat. Lily, or Phoebe, and Marina are in the back with your dad. Are you both sitting in the back beside him? He's seeing like the middle of you, or does somebody sit in the front
Marina not
seat?
driving.
No, Flora's driving.
Flora's been driving.
Oh, then yes, yeah. Then I would say he would probably, actually, honestly, she would probably push him up against the window to try and create as much space between him and like everybody else as possible for them. So she would probably set herself in the middle so that she could kind of.
Okay,
act as
so
a
if he's
barrier.
it, then Marina, are you sitting in the back seat or the front seat?
It is like in the back seat. I was I'm sitting right next to the guy. I'm not gonna disobey orders at this point, so.
Okay, so that's going to have to be something that you guys are going to have to talk about then, because she's trying to sit beside him and push him against the window. So you guys are going to have to figure that out.
Yeah, I guess I go up to Phoebe and say like, look, my son, yo, you know, came with the other just to take a look at the guy. I'm not sure my relationship. So, you know, I got it. I know, you know, this seemed dreadful, and you know, in old town, we know about your dad, so don't worry, you know, we got you. So I'm gonna
Sure.
stay with him.
You know a lot of things about a lot of things, but I know how to handle him, so I can handle him.
Okay, I'm gonna type right next to him anyway, because you know that those are my order. Wait.
It's her dad. Just leave her handle him. Maybe
Phoebe is going
come
to
up in front.
start going towards the seat. So unless you stop her, like a contested stop, like she's going to like be forcing her way over there. Because
Yeah,
she doesn't want.
So you're going to have to make contested rolls. I mean, you're essentially going to have to fight her to get, like, she wants to sit beside her dad, so you're going to have to contest rolls.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight her. I'm just gonna just sit on the other side.
No, but she's put him against the window.
So it's going to be him.
And so
like, him up against the guy.
there's 3 seats, right? She's putting him here, so she's sitting in the middle, and you have to sit here.
Okay.
She's trying to not let you sit beside him.
Wow. Okay, this is weird, but sure. Those are my orders. Uh, 36.
Yeah, you have. I have to look for dice rolls here.
30.
30. Did you roll it? Oh, here, echoes. Okay, so yeah, so she actually beat you. So you try to, you know, I don't know if like, how do you stop her? How do you like punch her in the face? Like, how do you, like, she's like wrestling you, trying to get there, kind of thing, right? I'm assuming
where's
that
all this punching coming from?
I don't fucking well because you're being really aggressive with her about wanting to sit beside it. So I'm assuming this is an aggressive situation, right? How does she stop you?
No. This wasn't aggressive.
Well, it seemed like
Well,
that.
So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that like Marina's probably starting to go towards the seat, and like she is stopping her. She's like, "No, like I'm gonna sit by him," kind of thing. And then they have that whole conversation. And while you're saying like it's fine, I have my order, like she's just going to go in and
Mhm.
sit down next to him. So she's not
Yeah.
even gonna like give it. She's just gonna like no and sit next
Okay.
to him, sort of thing.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
hmm
I don't know where the aggressive. I wasn't.
Well, because it didn't seem like you were gonna have. It didn't seem like you were gonna let it be any other way other than you were gonna sit beside him. Do you know what I mean? Like these are
Yeah,
my
but-
orders, and I'm gonna follow them no matter what. That seems. Anyway, never mind.
He just wanted me
Okay.
to punch. He just wanted me to punch you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like it was. No, it seemed like it was like you were both determined to let this happen. Do you know what I mean? How else?
No.
Are you trying to stop
obviously,
each other?
If she's like sitting in the middle, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit in the other seat, but I'm gonna still keep an eye on the guy, anyways.
Okay. One thing none of you talked about. Where are you going?
True.
I have not gotten in my vehicle yet. I'm
Okay,
still
so,
waiting.
yeah,
I've
so
just
what's-
been waiting for all this to play out.
Okay, so they're in their vehicle now. You're outside of the vehicle. The other two girls are laughing and cackling in the back, sipping on alcohol and eating frozen meals.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to like the driver's side window where Flora is actually like driving,
hmm
and we're just gonna chat real quick about what we should do. Because obviously we're the two drivers. We need to know where to go. So Flora, my first instinct is that we should probably go hit a grocery store. We're gonna need more food and maybe some other supplies. I don't know if you have any other ideas before we leave this town, but I believe that should be our next destination.
If you think that's best, that's what we're gonna do. You're in charge here.
Okay. Then yeah, I think we should just go hit the grocery store and try and get some non-perishable food. Maybe they have camping supplies or something that we can create fire with easily. I feel like we're gonna need some things if we're leaving this town for good. I know my packs don't have any of that stuff. I have like some provisions and a lot of things to kill things with. That's about it. So I think that should be our next stop.
Sounds good. Am I following you, or are you following me to the nearest grocery store?
Yeah, I'll take point. That's fine. You can
Okay.
follow us.
Yep.
And then
It's fine.
at that point, I'll walk back to my vehicle.
Okay. So you walk back to your vehicle and get in. Do you say anything to the girls in the back about where you're going? Do you want to have any conversation, or are we just moving to travel along?
I would check on Drinky. Make sure she's all right. So,
I'm great.
how are we
I'm
feeling?
doing just fine. Don't worry about it. This is actually the best I think I've felt all day.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Just yeah, understand that things don't always go as you expect them to go, and loss is hard to deal with, but you have to live with that now, and you can't let it control you. As somebody who's lost a lot of people over the years, I'm here to tell you that it's not going to go away, but
I know, Sarge.
you have to.
I've lost literally everyone in this town. I've been alone for a long time. I get it.
Just making sure.
Thanks, Sarge.
I'm going to take a shot at it before we go. Just
Okay, so this is your third drink in about an hour and a half. You should be fine. Okay. So yes.
Driving there.
So you all get into your cars and start to drive towards this grocery store, it's a convenience store, supermarket kind of thing. So just we are going to stop in about 20 minutes here because Sean is on her way home. So just a heads up for y'all. So you're driving there, and let's switch over to the other car for a moment here. You're driving there, and the whole time you're in the back, your dad, Phoebe, is like, "Oh, we were supposed to be getting drinks. Where's the booze? I was told there's alcohol in the car here."
Maybe we kind of just like she would be very quiet and just like, I know, we're on our way. We're gonna get some. And just trying to say as little as possible, since now, like, you know, they're in a very small space with other people who can hear, to just kind of try and keep him kind of calm, you know?
And this next one is going to be just for Flora. So you're driving down this, you know, this road. You're following around the car. You know where you're going. You've been to this, you know, this grocery store before. Ahead of you, in front of the other car, you see the tower. Like it almost like brick by brick, it comes together in front of you, like materializes up. I don't know if you like. Do you say anything?
Guys, do you see that? What's that? Something's happening.
And anybody else that looks ahead just sees the road. They don't see what you see.
I'm pulling up my scope because I'm freaked out by, you know, all that has happened.
Everything, yeah.
And no, go ahead.
No. I pull up my scope.
So you pull out your scope. You don't see anything. You just see, you know, the car in front of you, and then the open road, the next turn, the houses and things that are around. At the top of the tower for you, Flora, you see that body, and it's just like it's going like this, like, hurry, come closer. It's like waving you farther towards it, or to come, like beckoning you forward.
She will step on the gas and drive towards it.
So you step on the gas and you go fast, like Leadfoot towards it, and you bump into the back of the car that's in front of you, the one that Chaplin's driving. Chaplin, roll me or die.
Now I feel like I should have been driving.
54.
54. So she hits the back tire, and your car does like one of those spin outs. You don't flip or anything like that. Flora, you've got your foot on the gas. You hit it. You're kind of like, you zoom off to the side, and you guys like head first slam into a tree. Who put their seatbelts on?
Probably me.
Do you think?
Flora does that.
Do you think? What's that, Flora?
She will always put on her seatbelt.
Yeah. Okay. What
I
about?
think I made sure to put the seatbelt on their dad, even if she didn't put on herself, like Phoebe.
What about Phoebe? Did you put on a seatbelt?
I don't think she would have, because she's sitting in that middle, and like you never put your seatbelt on when you're sitting in the middle seat, you know.
Okay.
And she's more kind of worried about him, and so I don't think she would have.
So Phoebe, roll me a die.
Okay.
You're gonna go find. Oh my God, wait.
These characters.
she punches somebody in the face. No, I'm just joking. You rolled a 43. Okay, and I had rolled. Okay, so you fly forward a little bit. You fly kind of over the front seat. You hit Flora in the back of the head, knocking her head farther. Like she had already bounced off of the car, the steering wheel. You hit her forward, and you hear a crack as you hit her head into the steering wheel again.
I hear her. Like, I hear
Yeah,
crack from
and
her.
and her.
Yeah, I guess she's just kind of like screaming as she lurches forward, and then I'm assuming she's just in kind of like that front seat. And
Yeah,
so
you're kind of
she's
like
immediately.
you're kind of like halfway through like your legs. You probably have to pull the rest of yourself over. Do you know what I mean? You're probably hit your head a little bit. You're not like injured, but you're definitely dazed. Actually, can you roll me a die as well, Toad? Just to see how far this jolted you. You're strapped in, but
57.
57. Okay, I rolled a 67. So yeah, so you just kind of jolt forward. It probably like hurts your shoulder a touch as the impact of it and the seatbelt stopping you. But you're okay. And your dad definitely hits his head. He actually goes dark. He actually hits his head and goes unconscious in his drunken state. But then you kind of crawl over, and you see Flora there. She's still breathing, but she's got a massive head wound.
Immediately like rush forward to her, and we took in our medical supplies as the med kit, so I'm probably with it because I was attending last time the wounds, so I'm probably gonna go and check her.
So in between y'all, because I flew forward, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she would
Yeah.
definitely be like allowing like that to kind of happen. She's like, Flora, what the heck? What happened? Are you okay? Why did you? What was that?
Flora, hey Flora, hey chica, what the hell happened?
So Flora, you're not responsive, but in your dream state, you still you're now laying on the ground at the base of this tower. You're looking up at it, and she's just looking down at you, and she's kind of waving hello to you right now. In the other car, what happens as it spins out of control?
The food would kind of fall off of our laps, I would presume. What the fuck was that? I'm looking behind me.
No.
And
She just hit us. I honestly don't know. But yeah, we would have come to just a full stop. Spun out. I would have just tapped the brakes and stopped wherever we ended up.
And are you rushing out of the car towards the crashed one as well?
Yeah, I would be. I'd be getting out to go see what had happened.
And none of you are injured in the one that got spun out. You know what I mean? It just kind of knocked and jolted the car.
Spun and then
Exactly,
stopped.
and spun and stopped. So if all of you getting out of the car as they're kind of are you pulling Flora out to lay her on the ground, or are you just leaving her in the car
Well,
seat?
I wouldn't move her, like her head, because of the concussion. I don't know the extent of her wounds, so I would first do a medical exam.
And you
Following
know,
my training, because concussions and stuff.
yep. Roll me your die.
49.
49. Okay, so you're looking at her wounds. You can tell that she is definitely alive. You can see that she has not injured her neck. It's not broken. The wound that she has is in her skull. But you can tell that her neck is fine. You can move her body if you wanted to. You don't know if you're able to treat what she has.
Okay, is it did she crack her skull, or I can see part of the skull? Or
You-
how deep is the wound?
It's deep.
Okay, I think
It's-
I'm gonna
it's
pull
deep.
out the window and like signal the Sarge.
Mhm.
Sarge, we got a head injury up in here. I don't know if I can treat this. This is beyond my skill. And like holding her, like immobilizing her, like her top, like body. So and then holding for the Sarge to help me put her down.
Yeah.
Phoebe's gonna crawl out and is also like, she's gonna be right there. How do I help? What do I do? Like, she can't die here. Of all the things that have happened today, like this cannot. Tell me what to do.
Look, I don't know what was happening because she mentioned she was seeing something, but I didn't see anything, and I even pulled up my coat, you know, to see better. But she was seeing something, and then she, you know, accelerated it. For now, we need to. Can you take her leg? We need to put her down.
They grab her and start kind of pulling her. I guess we're trying to lay her down outside. Is that what we're doing?
Lay her down on the ground.
Yeah.
So-
She's kind of pulling her out.
So you guys lay her down on the ground. Let's cut to just Flora here. So Flora, they lay you down on the ground, and you're still, you know, what you assume to be is laying at the base of this tower, completely unaware that you've been in any car wreck. From what you saw, you were driving in this car, you sped up, you drove to it, and you kind of gracefully floated outside of the car and laid yourself down on this bed of grass in front of this tower. And the body looks over and it waves down at you. Do you respond?
I wave back. Wave back up.
And so for everybody else that's happening, when she gets laid down on the ground, you see her body in this unconscious state waving to somebody. And you see, and it says down to you, you know, it waves, it says, "Are you finally ready to come home?" And you can hear this voice. It's your own voice in your head. It sounds like it's talking and whispering right beside you as you see these lips at the top of this tall tower in front of you or above you.
But I am home. What do you mean?
No, home with me. Home with us.
Who is us?
Us is we. Us is you. Us is the cards. The stars as they fade. Come.
And she will try to stand up if she's able.
And you hear, everybody's hearing all these words. Anybody that's trying to stop her standing up, no matter how hard you try, she stands up in front of you, blood dripping down this open gash wound in her head. I'm sure, you know, I'm just going to take liberty for your characters here that, you know, a lot of you have tried to stop her and push her down by, you know, get her to sit back down, but she stands up. Do you go to walk inside the tower?
Yep.
So you go to walk inside this tower, and everybody sees her walk up an invisible spiral staircase. And you get to the top, and well, yeah, sure, you get to the middle, kind of like you did before, and that body is coming down. None of you see the other one. And when you get there, it just puts its hands out like this for you to join. Do
Do
you...
you really?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What do you mean with home?
Home. Where we all came from.
Where did we came? Where did we?
Come, I'll show you. I can't explain, but I can show you. And it reaches from like the two hands down to just one hand reaching out now.
Okay, she will take the hand.
And she takes the hand again, You see her reach out this hand and grasp onto something invisible. She's standing up like 15 feet above the ground. And you see her walk up to the top of this, she walks up to the top of this tower. She leads you over to the edge like she did before. And she said, "We've done this before. This time we'll fall farther. Home is underground." And she looks over the edge.
But I don't want to jump. Do I?
Home is where the heart is.
And she will take a leap.
And everybody sees her jump, swan dive out, one hand grasping onto something, the other one open, and she lands flat in front of you on the ground, face first, swan dive, dead on
Does
impact.
Phoebe try to catch her as she sees her jumping?
She would fall past your arms, knocking you to the ground, and her head would still splatter. And Phoebe is dead on impact. And that's where we're going to call the session today.
You mean Flora?
Oh, sorry, Flora is dead on impact.
None of us, the
You can try to.
guys.
Out of character, she has to leave this game, so we're killing her character off.
Oh, okay.
So there is no saving her character today.
I understand. Oh, Emma.
And that is today's session. Are you okay there, Joy?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just want to say that
Not
during
okay
that,
either.
when we didn't really get a chance, but during that whole thing when that was happening, Rebecca kind of like, I guess her intuition of like this is not right. She stayed in the car with Marcella, and I think kind of like when she saw Flora going up, she covered Marcella's eyes, because I think at this point she's kind of just like, I'm protecting her, like she's just kind of bonded, so she covered her eyes, kind of knowing what was happening if Marcella let her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that I wouldn't have been coordinated enough to get out of the car.
Yeah. So
Phoebe definitely, like, she would have, like, she was screaming the entire time, and as she was going up, like, out of character, I recognized that there was nothing that she did, but, like, Phoebe would have definitely been trying to, like, to follow her, and would be as close as she possibly could have been to be trying to, like...
Yeah, like, I imagine, like, you're probably underneath her trying to reach up to her legs. Like, you're probably even holding on to her legs as they're just walking up and just keep kicking you off as they're going up this, like, this circular, invisible staircase towards the top of it all. I imagined you all just yelling and hooting and hollering at her from the bottom, you know, just trying to get her down safe. And like, unfortunately, if you probably didn't even try to catch her as you're saying you were going to, but the weight of her body, this supernatural weight of her body, pulled her down just past you all, and she impacted. Out of character, Emma, thank you so much for being in this game. You did a fantastic job as your character.
Deciding to destroy my heart with making me love your character and then ripping her away from us.
I'm sorry. It was really. I really like this game.
We're going to
For
miss
sure.
you so much.
Aw, thank you.
Very much so. She last week she typed into chat that she was going to be leaving, and I knew that she was going to be going already, and I deleted the message. The only person that saw the message was Jay, and I was like, no, I would rather have a moment like this. Because I'm not going to lie, to see the fact, like, Joy, I hate to see you cry, but the fact that we infected those
her.
emotions into people, it means that you've all done such a great job with your role play and your character building. So thank you so much for everything that you all put into this game. You make it so worth me coming here and you know, trying to run this and facilitate this world for you. So thank you all so much, and yeah, you're definitely gonna be missed, Emma. But anytime you want to come back into another one of these games, the floor is yours.
It's just that this month is.
Yeah.
really, it's all
Respect that. I hate that. but I respect it.
Definitely. Yeah, you're muted, Freya.
Maybe you can come back later and haunt us.
Maybe.
I would accept,
I want
I would
to haunt
accept
your
you haunted.
asses.
Awesome. Yeah, we didn't do it at the start, so why don't we do some shout outs here really quick for everybody, and then I'm gonna go get ready to see my wife for the first time in like 5 days. So
Oh my god! Finally.
let's start with the first or the last outro that Emma will give us for this show.
Emma. That was my character. I hope you enjoyed her. It was pretty amazing to play with all of you guys. For the reason that I'm stopping has absolutely nothing to do with this campaign. When we first discussed this campaign, I was thinking that it would run for about 6 weeks, which would be amazing with my planning, because it would stop around this time, and then I had like a month to prepare and step into another game. But you all liked it so much that you all keep going, and for me, it's for now an end.
Yeah.
But I'm sure.
So she told me if I ever, because the next game that I'm running is a continuation of this in the future. She said if I ever did a medieval era of this, like go into the past, that she's in.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
we'll have to do that at some point and get her in there. So yeah, so thank you so much for being in this. I will miss you around the game, but I know that you're not gonna leave our hearts or our lives, so we'll still be able to chat with you.
Now in about a month, I will be somewhere else in the game probably.
Awesome. We got the sweet Freya. You muted yourself again.
Oh. Yeah. Hello, I'm Freya, and that's all.
Alrighty, the lovely Jane.
Hi. Yeah, I can't say I'm Jane. That's it. I'm excited for Sean to get home. Yeah, that's all.
Go follow Jane. She doesn't stream, but go follow her anyway.
All I do
You
is
have
sit
you have 7 followers, right?
yeah, I don't know why.
Why not?
Next we got Joy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Joy. I play Marcella. She was a little less joyful today. And Emma, thank you so much for playing with us. I loved your character. I thank you for like making her grow on Grumpy Marcella. That was a wonderful experience for me. And enjoy your life out there.
Awesome.
Joy actually streams, so you should follow her and not me.
Definitely.
She actually streams.
One thing that I want to say is not that you haven't been doing great this whole game, but I think we all really saw Joy come out of her shell today in her roleplay and really open up and just talk a lot more with your character. Like great fucking job. Not that you haven't done a great job this whole time, but you could really see it's like a light switch flick there. So great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next we got Lily.
Super emotional. I really don't want to cry, but I really feel like it right now. Yeah, since this is just gonna be we're all going around and saying how much we love Emma/Flora. I really loved Emma/Flora. And I loved who your character was to all of us. You were just kind of like our collected mom. And so I don't even know what we're going to do in the next weeks with just all of us crazy, broken, terrible people. But yeah, I'm enjoying this game as much as I hate it every week and all of the terrible things that it does to us every week.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's it. That's
The one thing that I gotta say about you, Lily, is everybody watch out soon because Lily's getting into making overlays and things like that. It's not any. I don't know if it's anytime soon, but when you need stuff, Lily is going to be the person to go to. And then last but
Just
not
putting
least,
it out there.
yeah, just throwing it out there. Just put it out in the world for you. And then we got Sonic. Last but not least, Sonic and Angel. You're muted too.
Professional. Yeah, I'm Sonic. Played Sergeant Downs, and I stream casually. And this right here is Angel, and she is the real star of my stream. People come by just to see her, not me. Huh. And yeah, thank you, Emma, so much for playing. It was great to play with you, and I very much hope that I get to play with you again in the future. Yeah, I honestly, everybody here has made this like a very natural and fun experience. And like, while my character is very quiet and kind of a hard ass, like I very much look forward to this every week, and I'm definitely going to miss playing with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Yeah, if you like long, like 12-hour streams of somebody drinking and talking shit, go see Sonic. It's awesome.
Yeah, if you have insomnia and you're up late during American times, I'm your dude.
And everybody, if you're here watching me, you know I'm Verid World Builder. Thank you for your patience. I know I haven't really been streaming the last couple days. You know, personal shit goes on, and I want to appreciate all of you for just, you know, being here when I get back and always sticking around and all the kind words and messages and stuff. So thank you all. I love you all. You're fantastic. I'm going to go get ready to give my wife a big hug from myself and all of you as well, because I know you want me to do that for you, so I will. And I'm assuming she's going to go to sleep early, and I'm probably still going to be awake. So maybe I'll be back streaming later tonight. Who knows? But thank you all. I love you all. Have a great night. And we will see you next Thursday for this game again. Bye.
Bye.